Hello and welcome to tonight's Facebook Live. I hope you're well. Welcome to Monday night, the start of another week, and it's lovely to have you join on the call. If you are joining me live, welcome, and if you're watching the replay of this call afterwards, then welcome also. My camera's doing a bit of jumping, so I hope it's coming across okay on the video stream. So if you are joining the call live, please chat in the chat box, say hello. Oh wow, something really funky going on with this live recording. Hopefully it's going to settle down in a minute. So tonight we are doing a catch up with like-hearted people, and we're going to be chatting about inner peace and calm. How can we attain more of that at the moment? Wow, this video is really getting very funky. So for those of you that have joined the call, I'm going to end it just because the video is skipping and doing some really crazy things, and I'm going to restart it. Am I? It's doing some very funky things. If you're watching, can you just type in the chat box if the video is streaming through okay, or if it's jumping like it is at my end of things? There's a few people on the call. If you can just say hello and let me know if the video is streaming okay at your end, or if it's jumping around like a bit of a jumping jacks at my end. Hi Mary Lou, can you just tell me if the video is streaming okay at your end, or if it's jumping around like it is at my end? Because I might need to restart it. It might not be a great internet connection. So tonight we're going to be talking about how to achieve a greater sense of inner peace and calm. Okay, thanks Meg. Hi Amy. Okay, might just be at my end. I've got this whole flickering thing going on. Bit of a disco happening tonight. Not a problem. So long as it's okay at your end, that's all that matters. So welcome to tonight. We're going to be talking about inner peace and calm, which is hilarious given what my video screen is doing at the moment. Hi Sula. So what my video screen is doing at the moment, just to sort of bring you into the loop that you're not seeing at your end, is it's jumping around all over the place and like playing lag and catch up and doing all sorts of funky things, which may well be reflective of the energy that we're talking about tonight. It's kind of skipping about all over the place. So it may well settle down once we do the calming process that we're going to do tonight. So thank you for joining if you're on the call live. And if you are, just say hi in the chat box so I know that you're here and I can give you a personal welcome. And I really do appreciate those of you that can join the calls live, because it does create a lovely, like-hearted community where we all get to come together, share what's happening for us at the moment and the experiences that we're having, and also to share in the energy, because when we come together, the energy is stronger. There is a multiplier effect. So perhaps just to start with, those of you that are live on the call, how has your week been? Obviously it's the start of a new week, but how was last week for you? How has the energy been? I'm curious for you, what has the energy been like? If it's anything like what's happening with my video at this end, then it's been jumping about all over the place like a jack in the box. But for some people that I've been speaking with, they've felt that their energy is a bit depleted this week, over the last week, things as this prolonged lockdown has continued, they've felt that their energy has kind of got a bit low and depressed and depleted and a bit more tired and exhausted. For some people, they've felt like there's a bit more agitation and aggravation as people are kind of chomping at the bit, like when is this lockdown going to end? Particularly in Australia, where our statistics, and New Zealand, our statistics have been amazingly fortunate in terms of the COVID virus, and the number of people that are seriously ill with it has probably been better than the government had anticipated, and so people in the public are kind of wanting to get back to their previous activities. So a little bit of agitation and maybe anger and impatience starting to set in for some people. So for you on the call, how have you been feeling over the last week or so, and how has your energy been? Maybe you could just add a comment or two in the chat box, say hi and let people know how you're feeling at the moment. So Sula has said Energy is low last week. And with the lovely weekend, because we've had a long weekend, went to the park for a long time and enjoyed it. Routine altered, so trying to adjust. Yeah. So low energy for you, Sula. Anyone else? What about Meg or Amy or Mary Lou or anyone else that's joined the call? How has your energy been over the last week? How have you been finding things? Sula said she's also loving working from home. Can't complain on that front. Excellent. So for some people, working from home has been a wonderful shift for particularly people with young children that they're having to homeschool and supervise. That can be nice to be at home, but it can be more intense time with kind of double the workload. Amy is saying things have started to land, which has been nice. Beautiful, so a bit more flow there. Sula said needing to find routine. Meg is feeling tired last week, having to go to sleep early. Yeah, actually I've been finding that as well, trying to go to sleep early to have a fuller, deeper night's sleep, to be more replenished in the morning and have a fresher start at the beginning of the day. So a little bit of tiredness, a little bit of finding new routine. Mary Lou is actually enjoying the slowdown, still working but with less traffic, less people, feeling less contracted and a bit more relaxed. Beautiful. And Meg feeling anxious with the return to online learning starting again this week. So particularly in your profession, Meg, it's a big ramping up and a big change in the way things are operating. So that does add a bit of extra tension and can create anxiety in having to cope with that and work with all those changes and the shifts in energy. So thank you for sharing that. When we're talking about inner peace and calm, that when our energy is balanced and harmonious, hi Tony, thanks for joining the call. When our energy is balanced and harmonious, then we naturally feel that state of inner peace and inner calm. And when our energy, which kind of means the flip side, when we're feeling a lack of inner peace and a lack of inner calm, it means one of two things. Either our energy is out of balance, and we'll go into that in a little bit more detail, or rather than being in a state of harmony and things flowing together nicely, then there's discord. Hi Mark, thanks for joining the call. So Tony has said time healing with yoga and healing summits, new routines being developed. Beautiful, so a bit of flow coming in there. Mark, in one word, as per previous stream, a big pivot. How this plays out for me is to be determined. We'll challenge a model that is heavily controlled. Okay. So I've noticed one of my challenges with the energy at the moment is to do with control. And perhaps that's why my monitor is flickering around at the moment. If you could see things from this end here with what's happening with my monitor, and hopefully you've all got a beautiful smooth stream of this video at your end. At this end it is flicking around and really disrupted, and perhaps that is what this energy and what we're looking about tonight is all about. There has been a major disruption for everyone. And so actually I'm getting a bit more with this flickering that's happening with my screen. It's kind of reflecting the energy where there's a disruption, but we want it to go back to the way it was. It's like disrupt, go back, disrupt, go back. So whilst ever we're resisting the disruption and we're wanting it to go back to what it was, then there's going to be some discord, some disharmony. And so that's what we're looking at tonight. So let's look at those two things, balance and harmony, just looking at them in a little bit more detail. So those of you that have been joining the call since the beginning of the year, these Facebook Lives, we started off the beginning of the year talking about energy and the different aspects of our energy and the different elements of our energy. So when our energy is in balance, things are flowing and there is that state of harmony and there is that state of inner peace. But when our energy is out of balance and the elements within us are out of balance, then that's where we experience the discord and the lack of peace. And they tend to be out of balance because there's either an excess of energy of one element or a deficiency of energy of another element. So too much or too little. And that's what throws the balance out. When things are balanced, then things are equal and fluid. But when there's too much of one energy or too little of another energy, then we get out of balance and we start to feel that. So if you think about or just connect with how you've been feeling over the last week, whether your energy has been depleted or you've been enjoying the new balance or you've been feeling a bit anxious or agitated, just feel into that for yourself and get a sense of, is there an excess of energy there for me? Is there a deficiency of energy? Or is there kind of a state of equilibrium and balance there? So just feel into it, connect in with your body, with your state of being at the moment, and just feel, what's my energy like at the moment? Is there any excess there, any deficiency there? Are things in balance? And then maybe just pop in the chat box where your energy is at. Deficiency, excess, equilibrium. Hi Kirsty, welcome. No need to apologize. All good. Whenever you join is perfect. So maybe just in the chat box, notice, is there an excess of energy? I've had a tightness in my jaw, which I know is an excess of energy. Is there a deficiency? Is your energy a bit low, tired, loss of your mojo, feeling a bit down or depressed? Or is there an excess of energy, feeling agitated or frustrated or anxious or worried, or more nervous energy or difficulty sitting still or focusing because there's a lot of busyness in thoughts and things going on? So how would you describe your energy? An excess or a deficiency or lovely equilibrium? Just pop a word in the chat box. Hi Rose, overall a bit deficient, okay. Anyone else? Mary Lou, personally loving the disruption, think it's reminding me now that a busy city life is too much for me, the way it was, yep. I'm feeling more at an equilibrium and more expanded than I have for years. Beautiful. So that slowing down of energy, before it was actually an excess of energy, and now that things have slowed down, you're finding more equilibrium and balance within you. Amy, feeling quite balanced at the moment. Beautiful. So when we do a process in a few moments, I'm going to use some of the elements to just help us come into balance. And those of you that joined the calls at the beginning of the year, I was just mentioning how the elements relate to our personal energy. So the elements being the elements of air, water, fire, and earth. Air relating to our mental energy. So if we have an excess of busy thoughts, a racing mind, we have a lot of air energy going on. Or if our emotional body relates to the water element, so if our emotions are feeling down and depressed, then that might be a deficiency in our water element. And then we have the fire element, which can be to do with anger and heat and passion. If you're feeling angry about what's going on at the moment, then there might be an excess of fire energy there. The fire might even be a bit out of control with rage. And then we've got the earth element, which is to do with our physical body and our grounding and our centeredness. And if we're really feeling lost in everything that's happening and we've gone too far into that earth energy, then our energy can be very, very flat. So it just depends on what's happening with our elements and our mental thought patterns, our emotions, our feelings, our passion, and our physical body as to what's going on with the level of balance between all of those elements. So Sula has said, had to mow the lawn, so energy is low at the moment. Okay. All right. So the balance is one thing when it comes to our inner peace and calm. The other aspect that can throw our energy out, that we're experiencing a lack of peace and calm, can be to do with the aspects of resistance. If we're resisting anything, then that will immediately put us into a state of discord or disharmony. And usually before we resist something, we're judging it. So if we're holding judgment about something in the negative sense, and then we're resisting whatever it is that we're judging, then immediately our energy is going to be in that state of discord. So if you're perhaps feeling a bit of lack of inner calm, inner peace at the moment, there might perhaps just be something that you're judging about the moment and or resisting about the moment that is causing your energy to be as it is. And there might be something there that perhaps you need to move into a greater state of acceptance around, to bring your energy back into that state of peace and harmony. So sometimes when we talk about acceptance, the first thing that comes up is an even stronger resistance, because we don't want to accept the things that we don't like. We don't want to accept things the way they are, because we think that if I accept them, they're going to stay that way. And whilst that might make logical sense, it's not actually the way things work. The more we resist something, the more we push against something, the more we hold that energy in place. We keep fighting with it and keeping it there. Whereas when we accept it and say, well, this is the way it is at the moment because it simply is the way it is, then we allow it to be, and in that moment we stop fighting with it, we stop resisting it, and we allow the energy to continue to flow. And quite often what happens is it flows out and through, and the energy is able to change. So we think that by accepting something we're going to continue to cause it to stay as it is, but actually by accepting things we enable the energy to flow and to move on and to continue to change, and perhaps even to change for the better. So what I would invite you to do is to simply close your eyes and just reflect on where things are at for you at the moment. Particularly if you felt like there's an excess of energy for you at the moment, or a deficiency of energy for you at the moment. To just simply reflect on what, if anything, am I currently judging or resisting? And just notice what comes. Maybe even bring your awareness into your heart center to check in at a deeper level. And just in your heart area, ask the question, what, if anything, am I judging or resisting at the moment? And just notice what comes. Maybe pop it in the chat box. Is there anything that you find, even on a subtle level, you're resisting at the moment? You wish it was something different, you wish it wasn't the way it is. And there's a little part of you that's perhaps in disagreement with it, fighting with it, resisting it, annoyed by it, frustrated by it. And perhaps causing your energy to drop or to go into that excess because of that resistance, or just simply the judging the way things are. I'm noticing on Facebook that the longer the isolation period goes on, the more people are expressing their views either for or against things, for or against politicians, for or against conspiracy theories, for or against continued restrictions. In the US, we're seeing protests. And all of that is the energy of resistance. And it's not to say that we shouldn't be thinking for ourselves and having opinions and views about these things and checking in as to what feels right for us. But it is to just simply recognize that when we're in that state of resistance, it's difficult to be in resistance and maintain a state of inner calm and peace and tranquility at the same time. So anyone like to add in the chat box if you notice there's anything that you're resisting at the moment or judging that came up when we tuned in then? It's a little bit of a lag in the video, so I'll just allow a moment or two in case you picked up on anything. I notice at nighttime when I go to bed, I feel like there's a bit of a Groundhog Day happening. It's like, oh, you again. And there's even in that moment, there's a little bit of resistance to just the repetition of things at the moment and the lack of change. Meg said an old energy is coming up again. So maybe you're meaning there's a bit of resistance or judgment. Might be either, or it might be both, to the old energy coming up again. Mm-hmm. To that I would say, if there is an old energy coming up, it's perhaps because it's coming up to be seen and to be said goodbye to at the moment. That this is, as we talked about earlier at the beginning of the year, 2020 is a year of clear vision, clear sight, of balance, and obviously there's a lot of change happening at the moment, so it's a time where anything that is unresolved is coming up, particularly as things are quieter around us. So if that old energy is coming up at the moment, rather than judging it like, oh, you again, I thought I'd already dealt with you, or resisting it like, why are you coming up, you shouldn't be here, I'm sick and tired of you, then perhaps that's potentially missing the opportunity to say thank you, I bless you, I release you. Time for new energy to be birthed through this period. So, as you said, Meg, another needing to let go again, yeah. Mary Lou said, only that I shouldn't be feeling so good when others are having a really hard time. As for or against, I love that everything is being obvious, people's true colours are shining, yeah. Mary Lou, if you're having a good time at the moment, I would say celebrate that. By celebrating it, you radiate your joy, and you're not doing it despite or to spite anyone around you that might be suffering, but in your joy you share your light, and that in itself is healing. And if there are people around you, or obviously in the world, that are suffering, you can share that joy and wish the best for others. You can share it with a sense of compassion and care, but it is our light that helps uplift the energy. Think of all the videos that are being shared at the moment of amazing creativity, of people sharing their creative talent, singing and dancing and artwork, and so many different expressive forms that are bringing joy to so many people. And that is uplifting the energy of the mass consciousness at the moment, that if we didn't have that joy being shared, all of our energy would collapse really, really quickly during this time. We'd all just go into this flat, like, deflation at the moment. So I celebrate that you're feeling good at the moment, and that the slowing down has actually helped create greater peace for you, and that's wonderful for you to see and learn about yourself. And hopefully when we come out through to however life is the other side of this shared experience, you'll be able to maintain some of that slowness even as the world around you speeds up. So I think that's something to be absolutely celebrated, that you're experiencing what you're experiencing, and there's joy in that for you. So anyone else like to share? Welcome to those of you who have just joined the call. Please say hi on the chat box. Anything else you'd like to share that you noticed you might be judging or resisting at the moment that came up during that little tuning in before we go into the process that I'm going to share with you tonight. So what we're going to do is a very simple exercise using light to bring in that sense of loving acceptance in quite a lovely, light-filled way, a playful way. And then from there, we're going to do a little bit of a journey using all of the elements to balance our energy and to really get clear sight for ourselves at the moment once our energy has come into that greater sense of balance. So it's probably just going to be maybe a 5-minute process. Doesn't look like there's anything else that people are wanting to share. Mary Lou has said, not sure how to share the joy. Thank you, food for thought. A very simple way to share joy is to simply smile and to just allow your eyes to share the joy. Allow your heart to share the joy. As you pass people in the street, albeit at a distance, just smile. Say hi. Let that light within you be shared, rather than trying to contain it because you feel worried that other people are having a hard time. Just the simple act of smiling as you go through the grocery checkout. Say thank you. Thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate you being here, to whoever's serving you at the checkout, or security people on the doors at the supermarket, or wherever you go, even with your clients or people that you work with. Just a smile. Letting them know that you're okay is one less person for them to be worried about, and they will just, a little bit of your energy will rub off on them, that they feel a little bit uplifted just by seeing your beautiful smiling face and feeling your beautiful heart radiating that joy. Mark has said, there's an excess of fire energy. A part of me is angry at continually ignoring the direction I should take. No idea what you mean by that, Mark. Ha ha ha. I might have been known to do that once or twice myself. Instead, wanting to mentally take control of the choices I think I need to make. Mark, I see you, I feel you. That would be my habit as well, and something that I'm really looking at shifting at the moment. So yes, that excess of fire energy and being angry at self and needing to control things rather than actually really listening to what our soul is guiding us to take. So how can we use that energy of fire, that excess energy of fire, and turned into passion, that we're going to passionately listen to what our soul is telling us and passionately quiet the mind that wants to control things and say, shh, not now. I'm meditating now, I'm tuning in now, I'm listening to the guidance of my heart, and I don't need to be angry with myself. This is a learning process. I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm evolving in my ability to listen to my guidance rather than to be allowing my head to want to control things. And just using that heart fire energy to be celebrating that I'm in the process of learning, and I can let go and just allow my mind to be quiet and still as I connect in with my heart and my soul. So that might be something for you, Mark. It's something that I have been using myself, and it might be something that you can use that will assist you with that process, to use your fire energy in a positive way, to take that excess and apply it in a productive sense that helps you rather than hinders you. No point in being angry with ourselves, but there is a point in learning what that anger is about and making a different choice to do things differently outside of that or beyond that. So thank you for sharing. That's all really helpful, and I'm sure other people who are listening to this call will be feeling similar things to what those of you who've been sharing have shared. So I really appreciate that and say thank you on behalf of other people who might listen to this call later on. So let's take a few minutes now to just do a lovely balancing and aligning process. So we're just going to close our eyes and take a few slow, deep breaths. Feel your feet connecting with the floor and the earth beneath you. And just take a few slow, deep breaths right down into your belly. Full, slow, deep breaths. In and out, breathing in fresh new energy. And just letting go of any worries or concerns. Just putting them off to the side, knowing that they'll be there if you wish to pick them up later on. But for now, just giving yourself permission to be here fully, with your breath, with your body in the here and the now. And as always, just imagine seeing yourself surrounded in a beautiful bubble of white light, sealing your energy field, and surrounding that bubble in a beautiful circle of blue flame, the energy of protection, just setting the intent that you are safe and protected, shielded and supported on all levels of your being. And then just imagine connecting with a beautiful, radiant light about a meter above your head. The light that connects you with your higher self. And just imagine that beautiful, radiant white light shining down over you. And coming down into the crown of your head. Down through the central channel of your body, down through that third eye area. Beautiful white radiant light continuing its journey down through your throat chakra or energy center. And down into your heart space. With each breath, that beautiful white light continues down into the solar plexus area, just below your rib cage, where your diaphragm is. And it continues on down through your sacral chakra, just below your navel, your belly button. And beautiful white light continuing down through the central channel of your body, down into that base chakra at the base of your spine. And down through your legs. And down through the soles of your feet. Down into the earth, as far down as the energy needs to go for you to feel anchored and grounded in your connection with the earth. And then just bring your awareness into your heart area, connecting in with your soul. And just asking in that heart area if there's anything that you've been judging or resisting. And then just inviting your heart space and your body to simply let it go. And as you do, I invite you to imagine a beautiful, very gentle cascade of these beautiful, fine, soft, pale pink bubbles of light, like beautiful pink champagne bubbles, just very gently showering down over you. This pale pink light is the energy of loving acceptance. And just allow this beautiful cascading shower of pale pink bubbles of light to shower down over you, bringing with them the energy of loving acceptance. Just accepting that things are as they are. It is what it is. Even if I don't like it, that's okay. I accept that it is as it is, because that's the way it is for now. Doesn't mean it's going to stay that way forever, it's just the way it is right now. And imagine this beautiful pink bubbles filling up the whole of your energy field and even going inside your body, that you're filled with this beautiful, soft, pale pink, bubbly energy. bringing a lightness of being and the energy of loving acceptance into you and the whole of your being. Just allowing the whole of your body and your energy field to be filled with the energy of loving acceptance. And breathing in that pale pink light, imagine that you're walking along a path. And this path takes you through beautiful fields of trees and flowers. And as you're walking along the path, you feel your feet firmly planted with every step. And slowly, bit by bit, the path starts to just very gently meander up a hill. And as you're walking up the hill, each step is taken with ease and with grace, just the right speed for you, no rushing. Bit by bit, you go further up the hill and you realize actually it's a bit bigger than a hill. You're actually walking up this beautiful, beautiful mountain. And as you do, you're really connecting with the earth energy as it's supporting you, and taking you higher and higher to where the air is beautiful and clean and clear. You can smell it, so fresh, so beautiful. It fills your lungs with every full breath you take. And as you come to the top of the mountain, you come to a beautiful plateau, and there's a beautiful, fresh, clean, pure lake at the top of the mountain. The water is the most beautiful blue you can imagine, reflecting the blue of the beautiful clear skies. And the temperature is just perfect. And the sun is shining down on you, warming your skin. And there's no one around, and this lake is just simply inviting you to come and be with it, to join it. And with ease, your clothes just simply fall away as you slowly step into the lake and just allow yourself to float there. Just you and this beautiful lake cradled in the earth of the mountain. And as you float in the water and you're supported by the water, all your worries fall away. You feel totally at peace, breathing in this fresh, pure mountain air. The sun just streams down over your skin as you drink in the warmth of the sun and the healing energy of the sun's rays through the whole of your body. This perfect balance between the earth and the water below you and the air and the sun above you. Your body in a perfectly balanced state with all the elements in harmony together. Around you and also within you, the elements of earth and the minerals within your body, the water element within your body, the air in your lungs and the oxygen in your bloodstream, and the warmth of the fire within you. And as you feel this beautiful state of harmony and balance, you connect in with your heart space. You connect in with your soul through your heart space. And being aware that you're at this elevated place where you can see in all directions, miles around. The view is perfectly clear. You can see things more clearly from up here. Just check in with your heart space and ask if there's anything you need to see more clearly from this elevated place. What is it that your heart, that your soul would like you to see more clearly? And whatever comes, don't judge it, don't edit it, just allow it to be whatever it is. Allowing yourself to see things just that little bit more clearly from this higher perspective on life as it is at the moment. And just allow yourself to float here for as long as feels right for you, to enjoy this peaceful tranquility, the harmony around you, within you, really feeling your oneness with all that is. Knowing that this peace and harmony is here within you, wherever you go, it's here for you to tap into, to come together with that oneness within yourself. Really thank the elements around you and within you as you take a few slow, deep breaths, bringing with you in each breath that peace, that calm, that tranquility, that state of equilibrium and balance. Bringing it back with you, with your breath, as you very gently, very slowly come into your body, into the here and the now, as you notice the room that you're in, the space around you, the sounds around you, as you just very gently return into this space where we are all here together, bringing with you this beautiful state of inner peace, calm, tranquility, harmony and balance. And as you do, imagine just anchoring that down through your body, as you feel your connection with the earth once again in the here and the now. that you are anchored and grounded in that peaceful state of being. And before you open your eyes, just imagine offering that beautiful, peaceful state out into the world from your heart as a gentle, rippling wave of peaceful energy across the planet. Just that little gift of grace being shared with the world around us and the world at large. And together we create a beautiful, gentle, rippling wave of peace for all who might be needing it at the moment, for all who might like to receive it. Just a very gentle offering. As you take a couple more slow, deep breaths. And give your fingers and toes a bit of a wriggle. Have a bit of a stretch. And just gently open your eyes whenever you feel ready. So those of you that are on the call live, maybe you can just drop a word or two in the chat box so that I know that you're back. We haven't left anyone at the top of the mountain. Of course, that mountain is within you. That lake is within you. That beautiful, fresh, clean air is within you. That beautiful sunshine, warming energy, warming light is within you for you to tap into at any time. And of course, you can rewind the replay of this recording, just rewind it back to where we started the process and use that anytime. This is a resource for you to utilize anytime you need. It's also available on my website for you to listen to again. So, those of you that are on the call, how did you find that process? Have you come back? And was there anything that you noticed that your soul was able to perhaps give you just a slightly different perspective on, or a slightly higher vision of where things are at for you at the moment? Just being able to see things from a clearer position. Tony, I'm back, grounded, beautiful. Rose, feeling grounded and calmer. Restoring, Meg. Amy, divine. Haley, hi Haley. Loved sharing the feeling of peace with the world. Feels like it needs it. It's if we want to make a difference in the world, it doesn't need to be any huge heroic acts. Just sharing a little bit of love, sharing a little bit of joy through our smiles, sharing a little bit of peacefulness, just as we might tune in and just, while we're washing our hands even, just share a bit of love. As we go to sleep at night, just share a ripple of peacefulness. As we pass people in the street, share a little bit of a heart-opened joy in our smile. As we read the news and think of those that might be having difficulty at the moment, or we might be having difficulty at the moment, share a little bit of compassion. Just in the sharing of that, radiating that energy, we calm the waters on the planet, we calm the energy on the planet, that together we can make wiser decisions, because there's a lot of decisions that are needing to be made at the moment. And so when the energy is calmer and more balanced and our elements are balanced within us, then we make better decisions, we're more connected, we're better able to listen. And so offering that energy through any of the tools we've been doing since the beginning of the year with these Facebook Lives, or simply just allowing yourself to be in a more peaceful state and then radiating that energy out, there's a wonderful act of service that we can all do. It doesn't take money, doesn't take a lot of time, doesn't take a lot of energy, and in the process we get filled up with whatever the energy is that we're sharing, and then we get to gift that out without any expectation of return or any conditions on how the energy is or isn't used, just offering it out for those who might want it, for those who might need it at the moment. No expectation that it should be achieving any particular outcome or healing anyone or saving anyone or changing any situation. Just offering that energy unconditionally is a beautiful act of service that we can all do anytime. Hi Kath, joined late. Thanks for the lovely mindful exercise. You're welcome. I'm glad you could join. And hopefully that was an exercise that everyone did find a shift in your energy. I'm all about shifting our energy. How can we shift our energy? So hopefully everyone that went through that exercise, you do feel like your energy has shifted. It's a little bit different to when we first started this call or when you first started listening to this recording. So does anyone have any questions? Was there anything within that process that prompted something that you'd like to ask about? Did you find it helpful using the different elements of the earth, the mountain, and the water, the lake, and the air, the fresh air of the sky, and the warmth of the sun? Did you find those elements, balancing those energies, helpful? That's something that you can do even while you're sitting on the bus, traveling somewhere or in traffic. Not that traffic is as bad as it normally is, but just using those elements at the start of the day to bring ourselves into more balance means that we're going to have a smoother day ahead of us. So no questions, no other comments before we finish up? No. Lovely. Well, as always, I really thank you for joining the call, for being part of this collective energy of like-hearted people. And I hope you found it useful tonight. And if you have any questions at all, please message me. If there's anything that you'd like me to cover next week when we meet again at 8 o'clock next Monday night, please let me know. Hi, Margaret. Lovely to see you. Okay, you're very welcome. Yes, if you have any questions or if you have any concerns, maybe not for yourself, but for other people, family, friends, workmates, or even, what can we be doing as a community for perhaps people that might not be as fortunate as us, even if we're having challenges and difficulties that might be even quite extreme. What can we be doing as a community to be assisting beyond us? Then maybe that's something that we can start looking at more and more over the coming weeks. So thank you. Have a beautiful week. Please stay in touch, and I hope you get to take some of that peaceful energy with you. I certainly have from tonight, and I thank you all for being part of this evening. Bye for now.